Dante's Inferno, Canto 25. This said, the thief lifted his hands on high, making the figs with both his thumbs, and shrieking, "The fico for thee, God! Take that, I say!" At once I liked the snakes, for one came sneaking about his throat, and wreathed itself around as though to say, "I will not have thee speaking." Another wrapped his arms, and once more bound all fast in front, knotting the coils, till he could give no jog, they were so tightly wound. Pistoia, O Pistoia, well were thee to burn thyself to ashes and perish all whose crimes outgo thy criminal ancestry. Through all hell's sable gyres funereal, I saw no spirit so proud against the Lord, no, not that king who fell from the Theban wall as this. He fled without another word, and I saw a centaur galloping in a storm of wrath. Where's this insolent wretch? He roared. Maremma, methinks, breeds no such serpent swarm as from his crupper writhed in hideous play to where the horse withers join with human form. Behind his head, crouched on his shoulders, lay a dragon with spread wings, whose burning breath set fire to all that crowned him on his way. "Lo," said my guide, "Cacus, who dwelt beneath Mount Aventine's high rock, and spilt abroad full many a time a lake of blood and death. He with his brethren goes not one same road, for when his knavish hand drew to his den his neighbour's kine, he wrought a theft by fraud, whereby his crooked courses ended, when Hercules with his club rained on him nigh 100 blows, whereof he felt not 10. While thus he spake, the centaur thundered by, and at the same time, close behind us, 3 spirits arrived, whom nor my guide nor I noticed, until they shouted, "Who are ye?" So we broke off the tale to pay attention to them. Just who they were, I could not see, but as so often haps, by intervention of chance or other such occasion bringer, one of them, as they spoke, was moved to mention another, saying, "Why does Chanfer linger? Where is he?" So, to bid my guide give ear, from chin to nose, I laid a warning finger. Listener, if thou discredit what I have to tell thee, no wonder, for I hesitate myself, who saw it all as clear as clear. Lo, while I gazed there, darted up a great 6-legged worm, and leapt with all its claws on one of them from in front, and seized him straight, clasping his middle with its middle paws. Along his arms it made its forepaws reach, and clenched its teeth tightly in both of jaws. Hind legs to thighs it fastened, each to each, and after thrust its tail betwixt the two, upbent upon his loins behind the breech. Ivy to oak, so rooted never grew, as limb by limb that monstrous beast obscene clung him about, and close and closer drew, till like hot wax they stuck, and melting in, their tints began to mingle and to run, and neither seemed to be what it had been. Just as when paper burns, you see a dun brown hue go creeping up before the flare, not black as yet, although the white has gone. The other two cried out, left gaping there. "Oh me, Aniel, how hast thou changed?" they said. "Nor t'other nor which, nor single nor a pair." 2 heads already had become 1 head. We saw 2 faces fuse themselves to weld 1 countenance whence both the first had fled. Into 2 arms the 4 quarters swelled, legs and thighs, breast and belly blent and knit, such nightmare limbs as never eye beheld. All former forms wholly extinct in it, the perverse image, both at once and neither, reeled slowly out of sight on languid feet. And just as a lizard, with a quick, slick slither, flicks across the highway from hedge to hedge, fleeter than a flash in the battering dog-day weather, a fiery little monster, livid in a rage, black as any peppercorn, came and made a dart at the guts of the others, and leaping to engage one of the pair, it pierced him at the part through which we first draw food, then loosed its grip and fell before him, outstretched and apart. The stung thief stared, but no word passed his lip. He stood, foot fixed, rigid in every limb, yawning as though o'ercome by fever or sleep. He eyed the monster, and the monster him. From this one's mouth, from that one's wound, a trail of smoke poured out. Meeting, they merged their stream. Let Lucan, wished now with his wondrous tale of poor Sabellus and Nasidius, and wait to hear the wonder that befell. Wished Ovid, though he metamorphosed thus Cadmus and Arethusa to a snake and fountain, I need not be envious. He never undertook in verse to make 2 natures interchanging. Eye to eye, substance and form by mutual give and take. For with strange corresponding symmetry, the monster's tail forked to a double tine, the shade's feet clave together, till by and by legs, thighs, and all so fused that never a sign could be discerned of seam or junction scarred or suture anywhere along the line. The cloven tail but on the image marred and lost in the other, and the reptile's skin softened all over while the man's grew hard. I saw the arms at the armpits shrivel in, on the brute's forefeet, which were stubby and stout, as the others shortened, lengthen, and grow thin. The hind feet, intertwined, began to sprout into that member which men keep concealed, whence in the thief 2 nasty paws shot out. The smoke, with counterchange of colour, wheeled, re-dyeing both. The hair was stripped and sewn, so that one head grew shag, the other peeled. Out of them rose erect, one of them, and one dropped down, yet never shifting the fixed evil stare wherein each made the other's face his own. The erect one's snout bulged templewards, and there, out of the superfluity of stuff, from each flat cheekbone there emerged an ear. Part went not back, but stayed in front, whereof the extra matter formed a nose to adorn the face, and proper lips made thick enough. He that lay prostrate had his features drawn forth to a muzzle, and inside his head he pulled his ears as a snail pulls her horn. The tongue, once whole and apt for speech, was splayed into a fork. In the forked tongue the split closed, and the smoke subsided. Then the shade, now brutified, fled off with hiss and spit along the valley, and the other, in a crack, chattering and sputtering, sped off after it. Then suddenly turned on its new-made back, bawling to his fellow, "I'll see Buoso Range, crawling as I crawled, all around the track." Thus I saw change, rechange, and interchange, the seventh mote's ballast. If my tongue has erred, pray pardon me. 'Twas all so new and strange. And though my vision was perplexed and blurred, my mind distraught, the prompt celerity with which those flying sinners disappeared was no disguise for limping Puccio. He was the only one, in fact, who did not turn into something else of the original three. The other was he that made Gavil mourn.